I am out before sunrise this morning, not really because I need to be, but because I'm planning on tagging along with my dad on a turkey hunt this morning, and then we're gonna go hunt snakes for the rest of the weekend. All right, just flipped our first snake of the day. There is a giant plain-bellied water snake right here. Look at this thing. Oh. Jesus, that thing's big. Look at this big unit. Come here. All right, no attacking. Hello. That is probably a big female plain-bellied water snake, if I had to guess. She is very, very big. It's first thing in the morning right now, just flipping a little bit of cover here to start the day. And maybe later we'll do a little bit of hiking, but very nice way. Oh, got me on the knee. All right, I took a few photos of this girl. We're gonna put her back. You can see she calmed down very well for us. Look at that. Just like any snake, even the biggest, grumpiest Neurodia will calm down if you handle them gently. But we're gonna return her to her boat. Hello. There you go. There you go. All right, y'all, well, I just flipped this little stack of tin here and found this guy. Pretty good sized broadhead skink. This guy is in full breeding coloration. You can see he's got that big, red, quite broad head. But, whoa, these guys can pack quite the bite, so I'm gonna let him go before he latches onto me. Good looking lizard. There you go, dude. All right, it's time to shift gears. We're gonna do some road cruising. Check this out. There's a black widow catching and eating a carpenter bee. That is gnarly. I think the bee is still a little bit alive. That is crazy. Look at her. Look, you can see her spinning the web and attaching it. And the bee is definitely still alive. It's trying to get away. Just gonna try to pull it in. Look at this guy holding on for dear life. I don't think you're gonna get out on this one, bud. She seems to have you pretty firmly in her web. That is super cool. I could sit here and watch this all day, but we're gonna try to find some snakes. It's been a pretty productive day so far, just nothing crazy. We've mostly been flipping, and I think we're gonna go do a little bit of road cruising for the rest of the day now. Maybe try to find some lunch. And there's our first snake of the day that's not gonna get away on the road. We did just lose a Coachwhip that looked beautiful, but look at this guy. He's not so shabby himself. That is a big, very kind of bluish tinted green snake. I don't know how well that's gonna come out on camera, but he is handsome. And he's gigantic, look at this. I mean, that is a big green snake. Very, very blue. This guy's awesome. We have not seen many of these this year. I think we've probably only seen a handful. Unless I'm just forgetting a day where we had that one day in South Georgia pretty recently where we saw a bunch, but other than that, we haven't seen many. All right, I think this dude was heading this direction, so here you go. He's probably gonna disappear into this stuff pretty quickly. Look, he's trying to climb onto there. Here you go. The pavement produces. Look at that. Beautiful little canebrake. We'll get him out of the road and then get a better look. Well, the sun kind of went away, and I think he looked a little bit better in the sun, but that is a stunning little canebrake. Look at that. Semi came along about maybe 2 minutes after we moved him out of the road, and it's very possible he would have gotten smashed had we not been here to move him, but definitely the highlight of the day snake-wise so far. We'll just usher him completely off the road and try to keep moving. Seems like a decent amount of snakes are out right now, even though it's the heat of the day. So we're gonna see what else we can turn up. But a beautiful cane break here, and the coastal plain is our next find. Look at that little rattle. This guy is last year's baby, and he is having a very good life so far. He's growing very well. Evidently has not had much of a hard time finding food. All right, we're gonna wait for this car to pass, and then we're gonna try to poke him off into the woods. Stay on the road, buddy. Nothing to look at. We left my snake hook in my car, and we're cruising in Dad's truck right now, so we're having to improvise with the venomous snake situation. He might just go. There he goes. Look at how much he glows on the leaf litter. That is awesome. Oh, he's gonna go right in a hole. Wow.
Did you see how he found that hole?
Yeah, that was incredible. I wonder if he knew that was there.
He had to, man. He went straight to it.
So we stopped to flip some railroad ties on the side of the road, and the second we got back to cruising, I believe that is the first eastern hognose we have actually found this year. One of our friends found one in an earlier episode, but I think that's the first one that we have actually spotted ourselves. Well, once again, we got to this guy right on time, because that guy was definitely going to smash him, or he would have gotten across the road in time. Who knows? But very nice. Beautiful little eastern hog. I'm going to take some photos before he inevitably tries to play dead on us. He's giving us a good display. Look at that. All right, we will try to get this guy to safety without having him play dead, because that's not necessarily a response we want to evoke, but a lot of times these guys are super, super prone to playing dead, and it's hard to avoid if you contact them physically in any way. But yeah, beautiful eastern hognose. Hopefully we'll see more today. We're just kind of starting to get into that afternoon cruising window where hopefully stuff will pop off for a little bit. We're heading to a really good road that we have found a lot of cool snakes on over the years. Mostly today we've been exploring so far and hitting new areas, but we're gonna try to spend the evening window in more familiar territory where hopefully we will see some snakes. All right, guys, so check this out. We have, whoa, cottonmouths going everywhere. There were 3 of them here, but then they all kind of freaked out at once, and now I don't see any of them. Here's another cottonmouth. There he goes. I can see him rolling up over there. All right, well, since the hognose, we've had a little bit of a dry spell cruising, so we're gonna walk around and flip a little bit more tin now that it's nice and cool, and we've got some good cloud cover. And then we're gonna maybe run into town and get some supplies since we're camping, and then we'll come back out and maybe try to night cruise a little bit if we can. The big priority from here on is gonna be to flip a little bit of tin and then try to get our camp set up and ready for tomorrow, so. Oh, Coachwhip. See his tail?
Yeah.
Probably gonna be in shed. Yep, very deep in shed. But our first Coachwhip of the year nonetheless. All right, well, it's definitely nice to get a Coachwhip in hand today, even if he is not looking his best. Still a very handsome snake. The one we lost off the road today was definitely a stunner, and it was a lot bigger than this guy too, so kind of a little bit of a bummer that he's not the one we lost off the road, but still a good find. And the first snake we've actually managed to flip under 10 this afternoon. We've got a good bit more stuff to hit, but darkness will be coming fairly soon, so we got to make haste.
Big hole back here on the end.
There you go, dude. You know where you're at? Yeah. Well, here's a hognose shed under this tin. I'm assuming that's what that is. It'd be kind of weird for there to be a Nerodia up here, and the hognose would be the only keeled-scaled snake in this habitat other than a pine snake. And that is very dark, so I'm assuming that's a melanistic hognose. Racer. First snake at this spot ever, actually. Oh no, second. We got a Coachwhip here a couple years ago. That is the first racer of the day. He's bitey too. All right, we'll let him go and flip this bottom piece. Can you not? All right, here you go. Stay out of the ants. Another racer. Little guy. 2 racers under 10 to end the day if we don't see anything else. Not bad. Hey, let's do it this way. Another racer. 3 racers here. Yep. Lots of racers as it would turn out. Look, we found Clifford the big friendly racer. He hasn't bit or mussed yet. He's thinking about it though, so I'm gonna try to gently release him over here before he has a chance to. All right. All right, well, I flipped a pretty unexpected little piece of cover, and this corn snake had just eaten the contents of that rodent nest, I assume. That is very cool.
Kind of in the blue.
I can't tell. It looks like he might be just going into shed. But that's cool. Well, that is fantastic. But we don't want this guy to regurgitate his hard-earned meal, so we're just going to let him. I think he might have a burrow right there, so we'll see where he goes here. I definitely wasn't expecting there to be anything under here, so I didn't record the flip, and I'm not wearing the GoPro because it's actively getting dark. You passed your hole, bud. I think. All right, we might just lower this piece. Oh, there he goes.
Yep, slope. Might not be able to fit with that bolus.
Oh, we fit. All right, lesson learned. I've got my phone recording and my flashlight on, so. Nobody. Not this time, at least. Well, we just went to the store and grabbed some provisions, and we're headed out to cruise. And not too long after we get started, we have another corn snake. Look at that. He's a little skinny, but a solid start to the night for sure. We're gonna, as usual with road cruising, we're gonna try to keep it moving as fast as we can and get as many snakes as possible. So we'll get this beauty out of the road and keep moving. Definitely not quite as nice or healthy as the corn we flipped, but that's probably why he's out crawling around looking for food. There's a barking tree frog. Look at him. He's covered in sand, but he's almost completely solid green. That is really, really cool. But very common here in this part of the state. They can be kind of rare in some parts of northern Georgia, but here in the coastal plain, it's a pretty common find. So we'll get him out of the road. Maybe we'll see another one. All right, guys, well, we're back at camp. We're about to cook some steaks, and I've got my tent set up, and we're probably going to crash here pretty soon because I have been up since 3 a.m., and I only slept for an hour last night. But we're going to get up and do it again tomorrow before heading home, so I will see you guys then. All right, it's the next morning. This is where that erythrogaster was yesterday. Since it was a big female, I reckon that there's a good chance that there will be some dudes under here with her today. If she's still around, so we're gonna flip this and see. There's a little guy. I wonder if she's down in there, because that's definitely a different snake than was in here yesterday. You can see he's much smaller. I don't want to get mussed. But, yeah, little male. So I was right about there being a male. Just, the lady is gone, apparently. Either that or she's just down in all this stuff. All right, we're on the road for the day. Just the one erythrogaster this morning, but we didn't do too much. Oh, there's a snake track already. Let's go see what that is. All right, well, I didn't have any luck looking for this guy, but you can tell that's a big snake. Came down right here, went across, turned back around, came over here. My footprints are all over it now, but I can't really tell what this snake did. It looks like he might have made it back up the embankment there. Yeah, there's a cool first snake of the day on the road. Big, cool looking corn snake. Look at that guy. That is awesome. This is one grumpy corn snake. Look at this guy. Hello. Wow. All right, I just talked to the guy who lives across the street, and we're gonna let this snake go off the road, but that is a good way to start the day. Nice big silvery gray corn snake. Well, I stopped for this track and didn't take too much work to find him. That's our first southern hognose of the year. Very nice. It's always funny how much work it takes for these guys to get up the embankments. So I'll probably just scoot him up there and make sure he's far away from the road, and then we're gonna get back to cruising. But very nice to see one of these guys. But it does look like this is a little female, which is cool. She has a very short tail. The males have big chunky tails. And that means she is pretty important to the breeding population. So we definitely don't want her to end up back in the road and get hit by a car. Let's see if we can just give her a little bit of a boost. There you go, love. Stay out of the road. Go on. Oh, there she goes. Well, it wasn't easy, and it involved me doing a full-on face plant into the grass, but I caught a Coachwhip. Look at this guy. That is amazing. Are you gonna bite me? You don't need to bite me, I promise. I'm not gonna hurt you. Here comes Dad now. Well, y'all know that I am endlessly impressed with Coachwhips. And even in this area where they're particularly common, it's always a treat to get your hands on one. I wish my camera would focus on his face while he's making eye contact with me like that. That is just insane how aware these snakes are of their surroundings. Look at his side right there. He's got some beautiful patterning. What a fantastic snake. Seeing the in-shed one yesterday was cool, but we did lose one off the road, like I mentioned, so it's definitely nice to get a big, healthy adult like this in hand. Hey, easy there. All right, I'm gonna take some pictures of this beauty, and then we're gonna let him zoom. What a fantastic snake, and fantastic day so far. Coachwhip, hognose, and a corn snake. One of my favorite things about Coachwhips is when you first catch them, they will do everything they can to latch onto your face if they're hot. But once they've kind of calmed down a little bit and realize you're not a threat, they're a lot more relaxed. Like, look at this. And you can see he's not really playing dead right now. He knows I'm not a threat. I'm sure he doesn't enjoy this. It's probably scaring him a little bit, but I do think that he has recognized at this point that I'm not going to try to eat him and that we're buddies. So I think he's well aware that when this encounter's over, I'm going to let him go. I was definitely a little worried he was going to go into the undercarriage, but he zipped off that way. All right, y'all. Well, it has been a very good day, but I spent the last like 5 or 6 hours driving around finding absolutely nothing since that last Coachwhip. So I think I'm about ready to call it. It's been a fantastic weekend. We saw so many snakes and fantastic diversity and some really quality finds mixed in as well. So all around, just a great weekend. And it looks like the rest of the week is going to be pretty good too, weather-wise. So I plan to get out quite a bit. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.